Welcome back. We are loading into Resident Evil Village, Dommy Mommy.
Dommy Mommy?
What?
Dommy Mommy?
Not yet. We don't meet her yet.
Also, I know we just had Mark and Matt's 2 days ago in terms of when upload schedule.
But they are not currently here because we are actually recording this the day that it's coming out.
Because I got sick when we were supposed to try and do an online recording with them.
And I've been busy for like 2 days. So we would have had this up earlier in the day, unfortunately.
So it's a maelstrom of bullshit.
Yeah. All right. Let's go.
Hell am I?
Snow.
Snow.
Snow?
Alright, I gotta go this way. Jump.
Looks like a safe passage.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I had a stupid idea.
What?
It's like for Resident Evil, we should do them all backwards.
Yes!
So we do seven, like how the other series are trying to go in chronological order.
Yes!
With Resident Evil, just whenever we're doing the next one, should be 7, and then
Oh, look.
the clusterfuck that is 6.
I'm sorry, what?
Attack! Punch the horse!
Punch the already dead horse.
You know what they say, beat that dead horse.
Alright, well, welcome to the...
Do you have any of your equipment now?
Not yet.
You can't pull up your inventory?
I
Guns.
do have... Oh, and they're all my fully upgraded. Hello, my babies. I have missed you.
But you don't have much ammo, it seems.
I have 307 bullets for this gun.
It's 5, it's max clip size. Holy shit.
Forget
No,
how I reload.
No, obviously it's a preference thing, but
Maybe
because for me, I try and do like fresh games
Yeah.
for the idea of like, because when you do this, it's not a bad thing by any means. It's just that you can basically skip any why am I blanking? You can skip like anything, give like resources as a prize for going out of the way. Which isn't bad, which isn't necessarily bad. I just mean, I've always kind of liked it's weird. I don't know. I guess I'm weird. I just kind of like the idea of doing fresh saves.
Well, I would have done that, but this game is fucking hard, so...
That's absolutely fair.
Okay, I should preface that. It's not hard, but I also did it on casual mode, because I'd never played a Resident Evil game before this.
That's fair.
So for me, anyway, it was, like, I wanted to just enjoy the experience of the story, rather than...
Yeah, that's absolutely fair.
Oh, fuck off. Seriously?
What?
I don't start off with any of the items.
Oh, no, that's something that's always been done in these games. Key items are kept separate from inventory.
Okay, well, that's fine. Are there any wolf boys in here? There are no wolf boys.
Basically, they just don't want you sequence breaking the game, that's all.
Well, that's fair. So yeah, this is the village we are currently exploring. We're gonna meet the Lycans soon, and I think we're gonna meet all of the villains that we're gonna face, because there's like a council or something that you get like accidentally or you get dragged to. I'm so glad I start out with all these weapons, though. That's gonna make my life so much easier. Cause there's a couple, like, okay.
What happened?
Lady Dimitrescu's castle, for example. It's not hard to beat it, but it's more just like frustrating because unless you like use a guide, like I didn't know how to beat the daughters at first. I forget. No, I can't do that.
Do you have a knife?
Not in my thing at the moment. So what I'm gonna do. Oh, I do not have Chris Redfield's gun.
Yeah, I would think.
I should.
I think it just keeps your ETH in inventory.
No, I just thought that I would have the...
What is that?
This is my super fancy shotgun.
That does not look like a shotgun. Okay, now it does. Just I've never seen a shotgun with like that kind of rail system on top.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go into my inventory actually. And I'm gonna, since I already have my sniper in there.
And a grenade launcher.
Because I don't have anything for my grenade launcher right now, I'm gonna put my Wolfsbane in there.
I think this seems different than how Resident Evil 4 handles it.
What do you mean?
Oh, like the big inventory full of things.
The chickens.
The chickens?
Okay, so I know you said in Resident Evil 4 there was like a dude you could buy stuff from.
Yeah, the merchant.
So in this one, the version is the Duke. And the Duke can also like make food for you that will like permanently upgrade your stuff. Okay. So I have a permanent upgrade to my health because I got a food thing from him. But you can only get certain foods from certain areas of the game, and you have to have room in your inventory. I'm not overly concerned with doing any of the food stuff because it just like, I didn't find it that life-changing.
Okay.
But, and like, realistically, the fights aren't actually that hard.
Run out of the house?
The only fight that only fights I'd argue that are like actually difficult are, well, Donna Beneviento wasn't awful. It was just more, I had to use a guide, otherwise I would not have known the mechanics of that fight. I'd say the only one that was like awful were all the fights in Heisenberg's factory.
Okay.
Just because that's the one that I told you about where there's the fucking like guy with a fucking fan for a head kind of thing, or propeller for a head.
What's going on?
Yeah, and there's these things called soldats that you can only hit one specific small spot on their chest to kill them.
Oh.
Yeah, you'll see. You guys will all see.
So I don't think I asked you this at any point, but did they ever explain how these like monsters came to be, or
they more allude to it than anything, because I think they want.
Take it. Take it.
Don't give me your gun, bruh. I don't need it.
Well, if it's like any other game, just keep it for this, but then once you get regain control, it should.
No, you can't. That's your gun until you get
but
the.
I mean, in this case, when you do plus, it'll replace it with your pistol, I think.
Okay. I'm so glad I'm coming into this with better.
So I'm more just wondering because.
Yeah, they kind of vaguely explain it, but I think they leave it more for you to put together yourself. Because they give you all the information, but it's, you know.
I'm more just thinking because, like, I like Resident Evil, but what's made it kind of an interesting series for me is that Resident Evil is. There's a weird kind of, like, faux science with it that these fucked up creatures come from. Like the original game, like the original 3, the mutant creatures, the zombies, they all were what happened with the T-virus.
Yeah.
If the T-virus did not like properly integrate with a host, it pretty much kills them and causes necrosis. Well, it doesn't actually kill them from what I've read, but it causes necrosis of the brain and of the skin.
So, you know, I'm gonna put a spoiler tag out here.
This is this first person that sucks to look at.
Yeah. So, like, the whole thing with this game, essentially, is you get introduced to this character, Mother Miranda. and it's revealed that Mother Miranda is like very old, and she like helped found Umbrella basically.
Which, in hindsight, seems like a weird decision to make. Not because it's not plausible. It's more just because
I'm doing really great, aren't I?
It's more just because Resident Evil has already explored the founding members of Umbrella. Like, it was William Spencer.
What the hell?
Or not William Spencer. But a guy named Spencer was one of them. Then
Oh shit!
Goop Juice.
Yeah, I did it by accident.
It's okay. Look, no, Birkin wasn't a founding member.
Well, like, okay, so Mother Miranda helped, like, or she inspired the guy that, like, founded Umbrella.
Oswald Spencer?
Yes. So the whole deal with that was essentially, like, she's actually, like, the reason that pretty much everything in this whole entire series happened.
But again, I haven't played
Let me finish explaining.
Okay.
So, essentially, Mother Miranda's like a couple hundred years old, I think, and, you know, back in the day or whatever, her baby daughter died. So she was, like, doing everything she could to save her child. And that's what led her to discover the mold. Like from Resident Evil 7.
Okay.
And essentially all of the, like, the stuff with the T virus and, the stuff from Resident Evil 7, all of that is the result of the mold.
Doesn't make any sense.
Or I'm not doing a good job of explaining it. So essentially it's like or it's not a result of the mold, it's more like Mother Miranda started doing experiments with it like very early on to like see if it could help her bring her daughter back, because she realized that the megamycete, which is what the mold, that's the fancy name for the mold, stores like genetic material of people that it like absorbs. In the process of her researching that, she meets the guy who one of the guys who founded Umbrella, and, you know, he helps her and she like mentors him and stuff. And then he, you know, inspired by her work, realizes that he, you know, he wants to go off and do his own thing to like change the world or whatever, and he thinks the only way to do that is with the virus.
Yeah, I'm just finding this connection to be very...
It
feels retconny.
Well, it's absolutely retconny, but it's more, you know...
I more just say that because Resident Evil 5 was the first point in the game, in the first mainline game, to explain the origin of Umbrella and where the T-virus originated from. Because it stated in that game that Oswald Spencer, as well as... either at the same time or later introduced James Marcus and I had to look up their names. James Marcus and Edward Ashford into it, those are the three founders of Umbrella. And because they found this flower in an African village that I don't remember the exact details. I think it was like these African tribes would almost ingest it, almost like a sacred thing, and they would grant them like powers almost. Not like nothing super fit. Like nothing. Like it's more like, I guess, more like a bizarre take on like Super Soldier or something like that.
Okay.
But it was through this flower that they developed what was called the progenitor virus, which was the the first, basically the first form of the T virus. And basically these three people took the progenitor virus and started to develop it in their own ways. Like, Spencer's project focus was on the Wesker project, where he would use the progenitor virus to basically like force the next stage of evolution in people. Like Albert Wesker is a fucking monster, like both mentally but as well as physically.
I have already forgotten how to reload.
It's usually square. Yeah, it's square.
I'm so dumb.
Yeah, so his work with the progenitor virus led to the Wesker project, which led to Resident Evil's like most well-known villain, Albert Wesker. But I think James Marcus's project was actually what led to the initial stages of the T virus, by combining it with leech DNA. It's a different form of it, and the Ashford.
Why is it taking so much more to kill these motherfuckers in this version?
They want standard now?
Yes.
Yeah, so they take a bit more damage. Yeah, no, that's just why, because obviously the mold was something added after the fact. But that's why it seemed a bit odd of a choice to say that the mold had a part in the foundation of Umbrella, because that whole
it's
thing,
more... Mother Miranda was involved with the mold, and her work with the guy who founded Umbrella is like what inspired him to do it.
Also, just seems, and that's just what I mean. Like, it seems odd that the mold seems very effective. So why would they try and retcon it so that he went from that to the progenitor virus?
I don't know. Again, this is the first Resident Evil game that I ever played. I've ever played. Not ever played, because it's not like I've done any other games in this series before. But yeah, like, I'm not really familiar. Oh god, the boss fights are gonna be fucking brutal, aren't they?
Yeah, it just seems odd. Like, whenever you retcon something that said, "Oh, this person was involved with X event," it's always going to sound a bit odd.
Well, yeah.
After established stuff has been, after they try and establish, especially in this case, like the foundation of Umbrella, because it just seems weird. Because the mold seems quite effective. Because the mold seems quite effective as a weapon in a research project. Yeah, Umbrella was marketed as a pharmaceutical company, but the whole T-virus development was actually supposed to be like a... it was more like a... I'm losing my words here. But it was more like a... almost like it was supposed to be sold like to the military, like a military project. Because... yeah, if you can make unkillable soldiers... you can and they had some success controlling them in some cases.
Thank you for the bullets. Oh, fuck, where'd you come from? You dick.
He came from the wind.
I didn't want to use my good stuff on him. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
There's no way to them.
I don't think you're supposed to be fighting them at this point.
Yes, you are. Trust.
And just use what you have the most of. Are you sure they're not back from the door you unlocked?
Probably. Go, go, motherfuckers. Well, you're supposed to fight some of them. That's the deliciousness.
Oh, yeah, as I was just gonna say, like the zombies, like the main effect of the T virus was more of a side effect, honestly, of it.
Okay.
The intention of the T virus project were to create those more dangerous BOWs.
That's like, the Mr. X and Nemesis, right?
Those are tyrants, specifically.
Right. Okay.
They're a form of... Well, BOWs are, I think, bioorganic weapons. So there's stuff like the lickers, those big red things with massive tongues. Yeah, so lickers, hunters are these lizard things with massive claws. Those were the intended... Those were what was intended with the T-virus. And under the correct circumstances, that's what could be developed with it. But when it's just kind of haphazardly applied, like everything that led to the outbreaks and the first three game was just because of T-virus. Because the T-virus is fucking creepy as a virus. And I'm not even saying that like it's scary because of the result. I mean, like it is a waterborne virus. It is an airborne virus. It can be ingested. Like that virus is very effective at how it gets into the body. Is that the big lad?
No, the big lad is coming.
Fuck me. I just want to watch you play this part. When he shows up, can you just go to the river and progress to the next part?
Not yet.
Then yeah, after the T-virus was a thing in the series, because it's established in after game 3 and the beginning of game 4.
Fuck me. Yes!
You're out of ammo.
I know!
And then it went to... Well, Resident Evil 4 introduced Las Plagas.
Yeah.
Which was a parasite. A very big parasite that had like almost like mind control effects. Like the parasite itself, one has a hierarchy. That is a nasty boy. So the Plagas has like a hierarchy. The lower ones just do the bidding of the more powerful strains.
I forgot this was supposed to happen. There's the big boy. You fight him later. Twice.
Okay. I think RE5 used its own version for Las Plagas, even though it was a very different thing at that point. And 6... It was a weird one. They said it was the C virus, which is a new developed strain, but it didn't make sense with the C virus. Because the T virus, yeah, it can mutate its host, but not the way it was in Resident Evil 6. So it just seemed like it was trying to do something that combined the Plagas as well as the T-virus, and then you obviously got the mold in 7.
No. Well, I think this is about to autosave. So we should probably call it here. Sorry not a lot exciting happened, guys.
I mean, there were werewolves.
That's true.
That's pretty exciting.
Well, welcome to the village, everyone. I look forward to having you along as I fail miserably.
It's one hell of a welcome to this place.
Really.
Farewell.